Hi, and welcome to Bob Akmens Sports, America's #1 top sports handicapper since 1978. This is the first of 3 parts of our baseball betting tips video. In this first part, we'll talk about why betting baseball can be hazardous to your health. We'll touch on what constitutes value in baseball betting lines. And finally, how the nature of the game of baseball has radically changed in the last 30 years. I'll leave these headphones where they are instead of putting them on. If I do that, I'll look just like Nancy at Time Life Books taking your phone order. First, I'd like to thank you for visiting our website, basports.com, to see what Bob Akmens Sports is all about. Let's talk a little bit about some of the challenges you may face handicapping America's pastime, baseball. If there's one thing I've learned in more than 30 years of handicapping bases, is that it's a tricky sport to win money at. And that's because baseball betting is very deceptive. After all, you have no spread to cover if you bet a baseball side, run lines not included. You just have to win, right? Well, as Hamlet said, there's the rub. That's the tricky part. Finding the games to bet that have value in them. On the face of it, when one of the game's top pitchers, like Johan Santana, is going against some inexperienced rookie, you might quickly think there's great value there. But hold on, is there really? If Santana is a -300 favorite, 3-1, you have to win 75% of your plays like that just to break even. Is that a good deal? Maybe yes, maybe no. It happens that I personally will rarely lay as much as -$2 these days. Years ago when I bet Seaver, and I had a 1-run lead, I felt good about that bet in the 7th or the 8th. Why? Because Tom Terrific's objective when he started that game was to try to pitch a complete game. So I knew if Seaver had that slim lead with 6 outs to go, he'd get his adrenaline pumping to get those final men out and get that complete game victory. Let's now move a few decades into the present. Last year, 303 different pitchers started a major league game. 303 different guys. Is that amazing or what? It is to me. But here's an even more amazing stat. Of those 303 pitchers, exactly, drum roll here, 2 pitchers had more than a single complete game for the whole season. 2 out of 303. Wow. And those 2 guys happen to be former Cy Youngers, Roy Halladay of the Blue Jays and Brandon Webb of the D-backs. So today's starter has no intention or desire or even a remote probability of finishing that game for you, whether he's had an excellent effort or not. And that's why you often see guys toss 6 good or even great innings, but their team loses. Because guess what? There are still 3 more innings to get the other guy out. It's very, very dangerous these days to rely solely on starting pitching stats when you bet baseball for these and other reasons. And Santana, the guy who is now the highest paid pitcher in baseball history, with a $137.5 million contract over 6 years? That, folks, sounds more like a Mega Millions lotto jackpot than a salary, eh? Well, if you had bet the mighty Johan in every one of his 28 starts last season, and you wanted to win $1,000 on every game, risking the favorite price to win that dime, and risking the dime to win any dog price he might have been, what would have happened to your bankroll? You would have ended up the season a cool -$11,100 on this phenom. Down more than 11 grand. How about them apples? Still think there is value in that -300 play with Santana? Again, maybe yes, maybe no. But there's no maybe about this fact. Bob Akmens won't give you a crap value play like that, folks. Since 1978, Bob Akmens Sports has finished number 1 in 37 different categories of documented baseball handicapping contests. Going into 2008, we're also the defending national handicapping champs of the United States in baseball in both the Sports Monitor and the Sports Eye contests during the entire 2,340 game 2007 regular season. Yep, that's how many games there are scheduled in a baseball regular season. In fact, we finished in first place in an unprecedented 6 different categories of the Sports Monitor contest, the most ever in the 20-year history of a TSM baseball competition. You can find a complete list of those number 1s by clicking on the Documented Number 1 Titles tab you'll find on every page on our website. I'll share something else that's not so secret and something my longtime clients already know. Of all the sports to watch, I love baseball most. And that's for a lot of reasons. You don't have the mindless violence you see all too often in hockey games or the other contact sports of football and basketball. And in spite of all that spitting going on, baseball really is more of a thinking man's game than the other sports, and strategizing plays a big role in the game's outcome and in handicapping it. Now on that note, we'll close out part 1 of this video. Please watch part 2, where I'll tell you how I pick my award-winning baseball plays and the computer models I've created to do so. And then watch part 3 as well, where we'll discuss why a guy like Rudy La Russa has won world titles in both leagues, and is it better to bet sides or totals, favorites or dogs, and how about betting the run line. We'll cover all of that in the third part. Now thanks for your time, and make sure to watch all the parts of this video, which, if you follow its advice, will make you money. Thanks again for visiting, and Bob Akmens signing out for now.